Hey everyone, hope you're doing well. This is the Deep Dive. My name's Drew Creekmer. I'm the Director of Advisory Services here at Creekmer Wealth, and I'm joined as always with John Creekmer, who's our founder and Senior Wealth Advisor. And John, we're going to talk about a topic that we all know is not maybe the most fun, but we believe is becoming more and more critical for all of the individuals that we work with ensuring that you achieve those big life goals that you have, and taxes. And so, John, we'll hop in that in a minute. But before we do, how you doing?
I'll do it. I'm doing great. Actually, there's a little product placement. I'm drinking my favorite drink, Celsius. If you've never had Celsius, it's actually my favorite drink. It's only 10 calories, and so that's a good thing, right? But I was looking at it has 1,000% of the daily recommended value of biotin. And so biotin is really there for improved brain function and memory. And so actually, since we're talking about taxes, I want to make sure that I'm really focused and that I'm, getting everything up here so I can remember all the things on taxes and how folks should be considering taxes right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, John, I actually just finished my taxes. Not a fun experience. One that we always have to do. And so, John, there's tax preparation and there's tax planning.
Yeah.
Preparation. Today, we're going to talk about tax planning. So, tax planning is really looking at the future of where are taxes going and how does it impact your overall financial plan. But John, why is tax planning so critical right now?
I think that we need to consider a number of things. First of all, we look at the United States of America, and when you kind of look at that, when we were started, there was this party, this Tea Party, and it's really talking about taxation. And so, the colonies were being taxed by England, and taxes were going up, and so the big battle cry was no taxation without representation. And so, we see the government imposing taxes. We also know, if you're a reader of different books, and let's say you're reading the Bible, and Matthew 22, Jesus talked about there to render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. He never says to give a penny more. And so when you think about that, who is Caesar? Is the head of a governmental entity. So taxes, Drew, have been around for thousands upon thousands of years. But the principle that I hold is that we pay the legal amount we're required to pay, but we're never called to pay more than what they tell us to pay. And so when we kind of look at that, that means our United States Internal Revenue Code is actually built on the premise that we have choice in how much we're going to pay in taxes, as long as we do everything legally. Now, within that, there's trade-offs and decisions that all of us can make. A simple example could be, I'm working, therefore I'm making a choice to defer some of my income by putting it into my 401k. I'm choosing not to spend that money current year. Instead, I'm going to spend it in future years. Whenever I do that, I don't pay tax on the dollars if it goes to a pre-tax 401k in that year. So that's a decision. It's critical right now to make sure you know what your decision points are, because we have a couple of things that we call truisms. And that one is that a belief that taxes in the future are going to be going up, the taxes that we pay. It's going to happen in one of two ways. We know that tax rates are going to be going up in the future. We also know there's some adjustments in the tax brackets where we're going to see more dollars going into higher brackets. And that's just what I said, sliding the scale and making adjustments in the scale. So, Drew, we know for certain the tax code change that went through in 2017, it expires at the end of 2025, and we'll be reverting back on the individual side to pretty much what things were in 2017. So tax rates are going up. And so we go from 10, 12, now we're going from 10 to 15. So rates are going to go up, but also the sliding of the brackets. And so certain income ranges actually are not going up by 2 or 3%. But if you make a certain dollar amount, it could go up as much as 9% on the taxes you're paying on the exact same level of income, Drew. So windows of opportunity to make some decisions to actually decrease taxes in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And John, a couple of weeks ago in our last deep dive, we actually talked a little bit about just high level how to do tax planning with the different tax buckets as part of your income plan. And what you're speaking to with the tax code changing here in a few years, that those tax buckets are going to become even more critical, making sure you have diversification, not just in your investments, but also in the taxation of your assets is going to be a huge deal with that upcoming tax increase. Not to mention, we also were talking a couple of weeks ago about the exploding national debt, which is a lot of folks even think that there may be more future tax increases as well. So, John, when we think about those tax buckets and the resources that we've been working to build out to help our clients be prepared for this situation, can you kind of walk us through what we currently have and what those options look like?
I'll tell you, right now, Drew, we have over 120 different strategies that an individual might be able to implement to decrease taxes, either in current year or future years. Now, those 120, obviously, all of them are not going to apply to everybody because we're all in different situations. And so what we've done, though, is we've kind of boiled things down to maybe the top 2 or 3 strategies that a person that most people would actually be able to utilize. And we've actually built out a separate landing page, and there'll probably be a link right here as far as on the either in the show notes or else in the on the email potty. And we built out a landing page where you can enter some general information and then some specific information. So you can enter like your current age, your current value of your 401k IRA. And then from there, if you know your tax rate, you can put that in. And then from there, it walks through, if you utilize the top 2 or 3 strategies that most people do, how much will you be paying in taxes if you don't utilize it, versus if you do utilize it, how much will you be paying in taxes. And so you're able to see right there a very quick first blush to see if tax planning makes sense for you. Just with having a couple of strategies, how much you can save in taxes. I'd encourage everybody to go through there and actually put in your information, and it'll kick out a nice PDF report to you that's going to give you some phenomenal information to help you decide, is walking through tax planning right now important for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And that report that you receive, it's got a number of pages on there, but the most important page for each of you will be the 3rd page, which really is going to walk through your current situation. So if you don't do any tax planning at all, what your lifetime tax bill would look like. And then you'll actually get just a generic representation of what your situation could look like if you do some more advanced tax planning. And like John said, with those 120 different strategies, we found that we're able to generate pretty substantial long-term tax plans and very substantial tax savings. And so I would encourage you all, definitely fill out the link. We'll pop it up here on the video again if you miss it the first time around. And then have a conversation with your advisor. Our team is trained on all 120 of those different tax saving strategies, and they would be happy to walk through your individual situation and do some more planning work to figure out if going forward with some tax planning strategies makes sense or not. And so, John, this is a quick video, but we really wanted to hit on what we think is probably the most crucial topic for folks to keep in mind as they move into the years ahead. What's kind of the one major takeaway that you have for everyone?
I'll tell you, here's the major takeaway. The Internal Revenue Code is structured in a way for you to make the decisions to improve your financial life, to allow you to live the life you want to live. And oftentimes, most people simply go and they take the information they have, they put in their 1040 and they send in whatever it says, without ever saying, if I educate myself and I partner with a true strategic planner, not a preparer, but a planner, that you could make significant decisions to impact your life. Let me give you one little nugget. If you are over 70 and a half and you do any charitable giving, that charitable giving, it has to come from your IRA, your pre-tax IRA. And that's called a qualified charitable distribution. It ends up making that payment where you have a full deductibility of it as far as your charitable contribution. And so, folks, if you're doing any charitable giving and you're over 70 and a half, that one little nugget could save you thousands of dollars a year in taxes. And I'm telling you, we have over 120 of those different little ideas that can really significantly impact your life.
Yeah, absolutely. So guys, appreciate your time. We'll put the link up one more time for you in case you missed it. Strongly encourage you to go through and fill out. It takes you about 2 minutes to fill it out. Fill out this report and then have a conversation with your advisor. We think it's a crucial thing that each and every one of our clients needs to be walking through. It's not just the tax prep, but the tax planning as well. So thanks for the time, guys. We'll talk to you all soon and hope you have a good day.